Have you ever thought, like, whose butt is this? Who let this butt in here? I've thought that. Hi, I'm Diana, and welcome to this episode we're calling, Oops, I Lost My Femininity. Are you finding yourself in a scrubby clothes rut, and you'd love to get back to the fun, sparkling, effervescent gal that you used to be? Well, I lost my femininity along the way too, and I think I've identified the one big mistake you might be making. And this is not a Ricky Lake type makeover show, and thank goodness it's not. What we're doing is laying out a plan to help you reclaim your fun, feminine self and stop feeling like, as the kids say, a potato. This rack of thrifted clothes here is filled with style principles that you can steal for yourself to help get you back to reclaiming your fun, feminine self. But there is one big mistake you might be making, and you might not even want to talk about it. But we're gonna talk about it. Want to get back to having fun? Let's go. Let's start here. This is my scrubby outfit from my actual closet. And if I had long hair, it'd probably be piled on top of my head in a messy bun. We're going to start this journey by putting on some fun earrings. It conveys an attitude that you are ready to treat this life like a party. And they don't have to be crazy. My favorite party earrings are these really skinny resin hoops. And I haven't even changed out of my scrubby outfit yet. But these earrings are going to give me a little bit more of a feminine edge, and this really helps, especially if you have short hair. I once did a whole video on dressing super feminine when you have short hair, and it's totally fun, and it's right here if you want to watch it. I would also like to say that it's important to treat yourself well with nice underwear, pretty bras. Whether you're big or small, you should be able to find something that makes you feel beautiful underneath it all. It's only for you, and it makes a difference. So underneath my scrubby clothes, I've got a really pretty emerald green floral looking bra. I do understand that a lot of you need a lot more structure, but you can still find something that's pretty, and it's a real treat for yourself. Because what you're doing here is you're building a structure. And underneath that structure, you've got to have a foundation that makes you feel beautiful. And then your fun earrings are kind of like the colorful front door on your structure. So are you ready to talk about the big mistake you could be making? The big mistake is that you feel like you should try to be the same fun, effervescent, sparkling, fun gal that you used to be. But the problem is, you are not her anymore. That was you then, and you are you now. So welcome to you now. You now can be just as playful and effervescent and fun. It's just different. You now wants more fun, but you now has a different body, hair that you don't understand, a butt that you don't recognize. Have you ever thought, like, whose butt is this? Who let this butt in here? I've thought that. And one way you can discover who is you now is to start adding little feminine details back into your life that are like breadcrumbs leading you to your you now. Feminine details, like adding a bright color with your fun earrings. Feminine details like girly little sweaters with beautiful details and maybe a little peek of your lingerie. And yeah, you can see a little bit of this nice bralette that I have underneath. It's not risque. People wear bikinis in public. I don't. But I'm not judging you if you do. I'm just saying that a little peek of your bra through your shirt is not the most risque thing you've ever done. And you know it because you knew you then. But this is you now. So instead of putting on a regular crew neck sweater, you put on one with some nice feminine details, like this open work on this sweater is super pretty. What else are you looking for? Feminine details like even though you're just wearing your normal t-shirt and your scrubby sandals still, swap out your jeans for a playful skirt. We don't need to save these types of skirts for fancy occasions. Wear them like jeans because playful feminine items remind you of what you're trying to do, which is get back to your fun and playful self. But getting back to your fun and playful self isn't as easy as throwing on a skirt. And we all know that. Because your fun and playful self can't return until you get out of survival mode. And many of us didn't even realize we were living in survival mode for so many years. But you know who noticed? Your feminine self. And she's ready for a little break. She's ready to come out to play. Orange sunglasses aren't going to solve this problem in one day, but they might help. Feminine details like fun texture, like on this fuzzy tank top. If you were going to put on a tank top, you might as well put on a fuzzy one. Or just one that's a little more interesting. Something that's a little more fun that reminds you that you're trying to have more fun. Because sometimes we can use clothes as a tool to force personal growth. It's not the clothes that change our lives. The clothes change our minds, and our minds change our lives. Imagine having the moxie to wear this shirt out to play pool with your friends. This ridiculous, bubbly, weird top. Imagine, because once you can imagine it, you might try it sometime. Bold and feminine details are an artistic choice, and they're hard to make if you're worrying about what other people are going to say. So maybe try shifting your focus from what others are going to say to making people cringe at your moxie. Make it a project of yours. Wear something ridiculous. Challenge people to say something. Suppose you do walk out the door in something ridiculous. We're not trying to change the world with this. We're just trying to change our minds, to be more flexible, to be open to ideas about the new you now. And what's the worst that's going to happen? People are going to say something? Oh no. I guarantee you that person's not wearing anything fun and probably not having as much as you. You're going to put on a sweater anyhow. Why not choose one with an open neckline? It's a feminine look. It gives you a little chance to show off your pretty bra strap every once in a while when you move in a certain way. Choose an interesting shape of a sweater. Choose an interesting texture. And I'm thinking again about people who like to say something. And I think a good comeback might be just to look at them and smile and say, "Oh dear me." Maybe you've got an event to go to and you want to just resort to the dress that covers your body. But I think that you should try to have a little bit more fun when you have an event because there's not that many of them. Every event is a chance to party with your clothes. And if you're trying to hide your body a little bit, because it's actually a pretty common thing. Sometimes we lose our sense of femininity because we've spent so many years giving ourselves to others. We forget about ourselves, and by the time we see ourselves, we're like, oh, I just rather not think about it and deal with myself. At any point in your life, you can choose to party with your clothes. Just be strategic about it and don't try to hide because people can see you. So you might as well have a party with your clothes. And that doesn't mean showing off any kind of body shape, but it might mean adding feminine details like ruffles. And what's really great about ruffles is they disguise body shape, but they add a lot of feminine flair. Ruffles at the bottom, ruffles all over the place, ruffles all over the middle. Boy, that can be helpful sometimes. And you feel so much prettier and feminine with these sorts of details instead of your regular play it safe shift dress. I am well aware that sometimes life hands us circumstances that put us in survival mode. It's not under our control, but sometimes survival mode is under our control. Like, do you find yourself opting for a negative answer when people ask you how you are? Do you spend a lot of time complaining? Do you focus on the negative news that you hear? Do you expect people to act negatively toward you? You might need a little shift in your optimism. Because I find that the more optimistic you are, the more luck you have. Now, I'm not blaming everybody for their situations. I've had plenty of things put me in survival mode that I had absolutely no control over. But there is some you have control over, and that's the part you should control. And speaking of things you can control, if you're going to put on jeans and a tank top, why wouldn't you just put on this crazy shoulder pad tank top and some baffling jeans? Why wouldn't you? Because when somebody sees you in this outfit, they're going to say, why does she get to have all the fun? And then you're going to hop in your red convertible and fly off into outer space. Of course you're not, because life isn't a fantasy, but you can make elements of your life fantastical. You're looking for fun feminine elements like a soft floral blazer that you can throw over anything. You're going to put on a jacket anyhow. You're looking for fun feminine elements like a tote bag that makes a statement, and then you can hop in that convertible. Because prints are fun and bold. You wear them with your fun earrings, you wear them casually, and pretty soon, something like this doesn't look like too much anymore. Your too much meter expands. I mean, come on, you haven't lived this long to be told that the only option is a crisp white button down to be elegant. Especially not when things like this exist, and I want to exist in them. Look at this gorgeous blouse. And I'm not worrying whether it's on trend or not, I'm just enjoying the delicious details of it. Just pick things that you find totally beautiful and wear them with abandon. Maybe that new you wears baffling pants. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody's ever met the new you. You now still has to put on a shirt in the morning. So you might as well look for details that are a little prettier, a little softer, more feminine, like these sleeves that bell out a little bit. It makes this normal V-neck sweater so much nicer. But you're not going to reclaim your feminine self just by throwing a product on your body, because femininity isn't a product, it's a vibe. It's a relaxing into your true self. I think it might be important to stay open-minded about the you now that's arriving. She might arrive in the form of simply just a prettier blouse rather than a t-shirt. She might arrive in a wildly printed skirt that says Miami Beach all over it. She might arrive in the form of tying a silk scarf to her bag. And sometimes she might take things too far. Like if she finds herself out in public wearing something that maybe feels like maybe she just went a touch too far, and she finds herself wanting to run back to her tank top and jeans. I would say before you run back to the tank top and jeans, just try to add one masculine element back in. Like in this case, a little motorcycle vest. Because sometimes adding the masculine element back in takes a little bit off the twee, girly edge of your outfit and actually makes it cooler. I'm actually finding this outfit super adorable. I never really thought about adding a leather motorcycle vest in with a silk scarf basket combo over my dress. But, you know, maybe you now doesn't say no. Maybe you now gives it a try. Those people that have something to say negative about you going outside of your comfort zone, they're going to hear, "Oh dear me." Or how about, "It's an absolute scandal." There's so much you could say. Maybe review a couple of these in your head, because these people can catch you off guard. But they're not on your feminine journey. Don't let them get in your sidecar. My sidecar is reserved for a poodle named Sammy. Sammy doesn't exist yet. Sammy's coming with me, though. I hope you liked this little episode. I hope you enjoy the you now that you're building. I'll see you soon.